All right, before we start the video, during the video, I started talking about a scanner that I was working on. Well, today I received the first prototype, and this is the scanner that's going to help me find my day trading strategy. The strategy that in this video, I show how if you use it, back-tested, you can be profitable according to the back testing. So let's take a look at the screener. So what it does is, this is the buy side, sell side. So I have 4 items that have to be true. And these items are items that I adapted and tweaked until I got the results I wanted. And that's why this took a little bit longer. But I'm usually going to look at it at 3. So 3, it says Apple. But before we do that, I want to show when I was looking at it today, AMD popped up at 3, which was right here at 106.15. So I would have seen it looks like it's crossing up blue. Buy here early at 106.19. So what my indicator also does is, according to what you place here on the amount, let's say you put 25,000 and every trade you take, you want to spend 40% of it or whatever, it'll do the math for you and tell you, okay, right here, buy 334 shares. So this was real time. And you see it would have been a successful trade. Sell here, 106.70. So it's about 50 cents. So it's about $150 gain on this trade here. But let's look at Apple. Apple came up with 3. And this is after hours, so the volatility is not going to be the same, obviously. But Apple popped up here telling you to buy. So you're watching it and then you get the buy signal. 134 shares. You buy 134 shares here at 145.39. So far you're up. So according to this would be a buy, but this is after hours, so I would it's not going to move the same as during the market. Scanner's up, it's ready, and I think it's going to be extremely helpful to find these stocks and my trading style. Thank you. Enjoy the video. Hey, I'm Juan. Thank you for joining me. I'm excited to announce that I hired someone from Fiverr, made my Pine script, and I back tested my strategy. So I did some modifications on taking profit. I'm using the ATR, and just overall, I've been working some of these indicators and playing with some numbers, and I've come up with something that I think can be extremely successful and consistent. So we're going to take a look. If you remember my last video where I discussed the only day trading strategy you'll ever need, it was some of the indicators that I like to use. So my strategy is just a confluence of different indicators. When they all come up at once, I'm confident it's a buy. So I put that together on PineScript. I also hired someone for Fiverr to put it on Thinkorswim. I'm going to have a scanner to find these stocks. And my scanner is going to be when my 4 conditions are met. It's going to be either red or green for buy or sell. If 3 conditions are met, it's going to be yellow. So that means that the condition can be coming close. 3 will give you a kind of heads up. Take a look. You got 3 conditions. Once the 4th meets, then it's a long. But let's take a look at TradeView, PineScript, and see the potential of back testing. So our first ticker here, we're going to put NEO. For me, if I would have started with my 50,000 last year, and my order size, on average, I use about 25%. So when I get in, I'm going to take a position in NEO, Tesla, and I'm going to buy about $10,000 to $15,000 worth of shares in my position. This is just my way of trading. And if I would have done that from last year to this year, 1 year trading, I would have gained 1,000% profit. Now let's take a look at the breakdown. Average winning trade, $948. Average losing trade, and that's important. That's why I adjusted the ATR and take quick stop losses. So that's why you see here, you're only right 56% of the time. But that's because once a trade doesn't immediately go my way and the ATR is hit, then I take a quick loss. But I hold on to the winners a lot longer. So largest losing trade, $4,580. Largest winning, $13,988. Profitable, 56%. And we can actually increase it. This is where the shortcomings of the backtester for PineScript comes in, because there are sometimes you can get out of a trade a little bit quicker. And if we go list of trades here, going back to when we first started, let's say we first started here, our first trade on May of 2021 last year, we started off $133, $277, $16, $190. So small wins as you have a smaller account, small losses also. But you'll see as your account starts growing, you start building up these little gains, $1,000 here, $635. And then towards the end, when you have a lot more in your account, you can grow it even quicker. And we'll start scrolling all the way to the top. So here now the average winner, 1,000. Here we had a $5,000 winning, 2,044 gain. So real accurate. And you see here my PineScript. So we have the EMA's cross here, the RSI's cross here, blue. So I would have gotten in here at 1771, but I have to adjust the PineScript so that it can fired here actually at a little bit later. So not much difference, about 30-40 cents late on this bar here. But my conditions for holding are the reverse. So when these signs start to reverse backwards, so the RSI crosses over back under, like here, you have the yellow crossing over. So let's see this long symbol to buy in here at 1790, and it asks you to close your long entry over here at 1868. So that's $1 gain. And it asks you to close here because a couple of my conditions were met here. You see here, this kind of became red, gray. It wasn't blue anymore. And then here, we had the RSI crossover. It was red here. So it told you to short. And let's turn on the chandelier exit. So I also use the chandelier exit. So here, it kind of sells on the chandelier exit. So that's why it sold here. And then here, the chandelier to short came on. And then there was a crossover and it was red. So it looked like a good short. You would have gotten it here at 1868. And then the buy signal went up. It went positive. It went blue. So it asked me to get out of my short here. So from here, I got in at 1868 and then took a loss, 1879. Only a 11-cent loss. So I immediately got on. So after making this big gain here, I took a very small loss here. So let's go back here and look at other trades. And I'm going to turn off the chandelier exit. Okay, so here the long symbol went off. And it went off because there was a crossover here. It was blue here. EMA's crossed. And it asked you to get in at 1790. And close the long position here at 1846. So that's about 60 cents. Which is excellent. Excellent for day trading. So this is NEO. We're going to try it with other stocks. But I want to also test it out with someone who has a smaller account because not everybody's going to have a $50,000 account. And I had somebody ask me about trading with $2,000. So let's say you started last year with $2,000. Now I would increase, if I'm going to have a small account, $2,000, me personally, that's why for me it's so hard to trade with such a small account. I'm going to pretty much risk 100% of that $2,000 every time I trade, or maybe 50%. So let's say you started off with $2,000 and you're trading, let's say 30% of that. So every time you take a trade, you're going to buy $600 worth of that share. Then you have the potential of making over 1,000%. If you look at the list of trades, in the beginning, it's going to be extremely slow because you have such a small account. So look, your gains, $6.30, $12.60, 80 cents, $9, $2, $0, $3, 16. You took a 48 cents loss, 96 cent loss, just really small gains, $15 gain, 46, because you're only trading with $600. So small gains, it takes time, but this is over 1 year. So it's not an extremely long time. And let's fast forward to 22. So now you're in March. Now you're getting $100 gain here, $100 gain here, $300 gain, $400. So you're making a lot more money as your account grows. Your performance, $33,000 in 1 year. And I haven't subtracted commission. Average winning trade, $61. Average losing trade, $15. That's great ratio, a great excellent ratio, 1-to-3 ratio. Largest win, $932, but it's consistent wins, consistent trades. So this is the curve. Look, if you started off with $2,000, potential to grow it with the strategy. So let me adjust it, put it back to mine. I have a $50,000 account, but we'll do, let's say 25,000. Maybe that's like the average account, and 30%. And let's try another stock. Let's say Tesla. Let's generate the report. 584% potential gains over 1 year. That's 1,100 trades. That's a lot of trades. You pay a lot of commission, but it's consistent wins. Let's look at the lists. $200, $2,600, $112, $9 gain, $199 loss. So this is what's great. Very small losses. 946 gain. Small losses. Yeah, here like 4 losses in a row, but they're all small. 243, 34, 14, 232. But then you gained $2,856. So let's look at the strategy. My indicators, and this is on the 5-minute. It's a little bit more accurate even on the 10-minute. But here, the long got fired. It told you to go long here. So you get in here at 7:58, and it tells you to close the long entry here at 7:62. So if you want to add to, like sometimes on a trade like this, I may add support and resistance. And when I see it pop up here, I may sell 50%. And this is where you're not going to be able to add this in the strategy. But here, let's say I got in at 757, and when it spiked here to 771, which is $20, I'm going to sell 50%. And then once it tells me to get out here, I'm still going to get out here for a gain. So you can use this in tandem with this. But let's go back a few more days. And this is why it has a potential. Once you're in long here, let's say this long, it told us to go long here at 670. Now I don't have it to reverse until I get an order for, or like an EMA crossover, or if we get the chandelier exit here, it tells you to sell, and then there's close to a crossover. So you get in here at 669, and this is at 905. If you got in this trade and you're just holding it, you're watching it, and you're watching it ride this 9 EMA, you're extremely comfortable. There's no reason to sell. It's nice, calm, no reason to sell. Once you got here, you see this red dot. It's telling you, okay, it's potential trend reversal. So you may want to take some position out here. So you got in here at 669. You got this red dot here, 717. That's big profit. And then here, further confirmation at 712. So that's over $40 profit, $40 it movement, 40 points. So if you had 1,000 shares, that's a lot of money. But I mean, 1,000 shares of Tesla, that you won't be able to afford that with 25,000. But let's say you bought 200 shares. So 200 shares times 40 points, that's about $8,000. So big profit. So then here it told you to go short at 709, and it dropped to 700. But then here you got this green light that it's potential trend reversal. So 703. So from 709, 703, once I see this green dot, I may sell 50%. And then here at 707, it tells you to get out of your short. So you see here the sign, it says close entry order short right here, 708, when you got in at 709. So it's not the biggest profit in the world, but it's not a loss either. Right here at this one, it fired. So we have crossover, we have blue, EMAs. I'm sure the chandelier exit had a buy signal. And then here it fired, told you to go long here at 714. Kind of rode this, got this green dot telling you that the trend looks like it's going to continue to go up. So here you got in at 714. And then here at 754, you got the red dot to tell you possible trend reversal. You may want to unload some position, but you never got to close until 750 over here is when you got the close order here. But then it reopened here, long entry, and it still told you to close here. So real consistent. I'm really excited about this Pine script. So I'm going to use this. I'm going to test it out. I'm going to day trade with it live. It seems extremely accurate. I have multiple indicators that I put in. I've played with some of the numbers. I've worked with the Fiverr guys, and I think we have something down that's going to be consistent. Now, the other great thing I have, and it's already ready, but there's a couple issues when I was testing it, is a scanner. So what the scanner is going to do, my scanner is I received the scanner today, but I have to tweak it a little bit. There was some adjustments I want made, so it's not fully ready. But the scanner basically is going to tell you when stocks, and I have about 40 stocks that I entered, 40 stocks that are the most active. It'll tell me when this arrow hits, it'll come out. But I also want the scanner to tell me when 3 of the conditions meet. So I have 4 conditions for this arrow to be met. But I want the arrow to go off. Also, I want the scanner to also find when 3 of the conditions are met. So that way we can find it a little bit early and just wait for that 4th condition confirmation and get in. But it's also going to detect 4 conditions. So this is going to be great. And I'm going to be able to combine my strategy here, my 4 indicators that I've adjusted, and combine it with like a pre-market breakout pattern or an ABC pattern or an ABCD pattern. So you can combine it with other patterns and just give you more confluence. So I'm really excited about this. I'm not selling these indicators. I'm just going to use them. I want to use them for a while, make sure that I have consistent trading. I've already back tested them with multiple stocks and I've seen consistent gains. So let's look at a few more stocks here just to further look at the results. A stock that I trade, Amazon, will generate the report 1 year, 135% gain in 1 year. So that's good. And you see here sometimes, like if you put the time frame for Amazon, 10-minute one, you may get like better results, or this one actually less results. So 10-minute on Amazon is 94%. So that's the good thing about this. You can test it before you even trade and say, okay, Amazon is better to trade at the 5-minute candle because it fluctuates so much. So 135%, that's still great gain over a year. So let's try Microsoft. Go 1 year, 154% over a year. And then you can say, okay, let's see how it is if I trade it at the 10-minute. It drops. Let's see 15-minute. It drops even more. So 5-minute is best. Oh, let's try 1 minute. Let's see how Microsoft trades with the 1 minute. 487%. So look at that. So Microsoft, maybe if I'm going to day trade it, this tells me that I may want to day trade it on the 1 minute chart as opposed to the 5-minute chart. But that's not the case for everyone. So you can, before you even trade a stock, you can see where it performs best, what time frame. So let's look at Microsoft and see some of the signals for the 1 minute. So here it asked me to go long at 265 and then close the long entry at 266. Not much gain there. So here it asked me to short at 265 and then close the short at 264. So little gains, little consistent gains. Here we got in at 265 and it went up to 267. So there's small consistent gains. So I bet you here, if we go to the strategy tester and look at the list of trades. Also, see, that's why you have so much. So you made $120,000 in 1 year off of the $25,000 account, but you took 5,200 trades. So that's a lot of trades. So Microsoft is one of those trades where it's going to be small, little, consistent gains. You're definitely going to be spending a lot on your broker. So let's say you took 5,200 trades times, usually on average, my broker costs about $4, depending on how big the position is. But let's say as you scale up and you have a bigger account, it's going to be more. So let's say the average is $6. You're going to have about $31,000 in commission over the year. But you made 120,000, so you really made 90,000. But that's still great. So if it's a slow day in the market, you can jump in a quick Microsoft trade and just scalp it a few times a day. Let's check out other popular stocks that people trade. Let's say Roku. Roku, look at it. Roku's great, 3,000%. Let's see the 5-minute, 778%. So again, Roku seems like it's better to scalp it. And see the 3-minute chart, 1000%. This is off of a $25,000 account, risking 30%. So now let's say you're someone that's really, really conservative and you say, I don't like to risk more than 10%, or let's say even 5% of my account. So I take small positions, I only risk 5%. Then let's see what that looks like. 49%, that's still great. So you made $12,000 for the year, but you risked very little of your account. So let's say Tesla. And I think as the accounts become, as the stocks become more expensive, you may make less because you're taking such small trades, 5%. So yeah, like I said, 32%. So you'll make $8,000, but you'll gain 32%. That's really respectable. I mean, that's only 1,800 trades, not that much in commission. So if you're someone that just has a very, very low risk tolerance, you don't want to risk a lot of money. You say, okay, I have $25,000. I only want to risk 5% every time I trade. But for me, I can't go in with a 5%. 25,000, I'm going in with probably account for 25,000. I'm using 40% each trade, most likely. Look forward to day trading live using this. And I'll be able, even before I get in the trade, say, okay, I'm going to be looking at these stocks today. I'm looking at Tesla. I'm already familiar that Tesla with the 5-minute time frame or the 3-minute time frame is way more accurate than the 15 or 10-minute time frame. So we're going to look for trades. And we know that if we jump in, if it gives us a signal to get out for a small loss, then we listen to it. Even if it's a small loss, and then it reverses and we could have made a lot of money, that's where you have to be a better person. You have to trust the data. This is data, and overcome emotions. So that's why I added such a tight ATR stop loss so that the emotion can be eliminated, because that's where most people lose money, where they get out, take a small loss, and then the stock skyrockets. So what does that do to you next time? Next time you trade, you see that stop loss come in, you say, you know what, it's going to reverse. And now your little $30, $40, $80 stop loss becomes $800 because you thought it was going to reverse again. So I rather take a small stop loss and pay attention to this. And you saw, I showed you there before where there was 5 losses in a row, but total, one was for $40, $80, I don't remember, but I know total there were no more than $600. But on the 5th trade, you made $2,800. So that's why I set this up like this. I said, look forward to day trading with you using my indicators that I adjusted for my trading style. And I like to see, and I'll see you on the next video.